My name is Stuart Swezey. I'm the director of the film Desolation Center, and I'm here in Buenos Aires to present the film with Kino Palais. This will be the Argentine premiere. My film it's about a specific series of concerts out in the desert and one that was on a boat going around the harbor, but it's also about a time of experimental approaches to music and to how music was presented in terms of record labels and independent zines and things like that. But it's also my story. When I was in my early 20s, I organized these events. We took music fans and school buses out to the dry lake bed in the middle of the desert to a canyon that was 3 hours from the city, and we presented people like Sonic Youth, Einstürzende Neubauten, Neat Puppets, Savage Republic, Minutemen, and also a group of artists called Survival Research Laboratories that did things with machines and explosives and sort of robotic art. So it's a story of, breaking the rules, taking new approaches to how people perceive music. I always wanted to make a film about these events, and I knew that people were filming them, but I didn't really, at that point in time, when I was in my early 20s, it was the 80s, I didn't really have the resources to make a film. So I didn't really know what to do. And then by that time, I had produced a documentary called Better Living Through Circuitry about rave culture and electronic music. And then I worked in television. So I started to have a lot more practical knowledge about how to make a film. And then there was a guy from Germany, Jörg Steineck, who was making a film about the desert rock, stoner rock scene in Southern California. And he had heard about these shows. And so he came to me, and then we started talking, and we were thinking about collaborating. And then I realized, I started researching it, these things had taken on a life of their own, like they had become a little bit legendary, like Sonic Youth played in the middle of the desert, the first, West Coast show, things like that. So I started thinking, maybe this is a story that I should be telling. And, I love music documentaries, so I decided to make this my first one. To me, it's a spirit that isn't really limited to a certain time at all. It's just, these were events that I think also kind of coincided with a really great time in the, let's say, in certain of these groups like Sonic Youth and Einstürzende Neubauten, Neat Puppets were doing very special music that influenced a lot of people. But the idea of DIY, do it yourself, taking things into your own hands, the idea of taking music and putting it in other environments where you don't normally hear music, just the landscape, making that kind of part of the whole experience. I think those are universal ideas that can be important now as well. I say yes, I really think so. And I think there are people that do small scale events. I mean, part of the story of Desolation Center is also these big festivals that, for whatever reason, were influenced. The people that were involved went on, were either part of the Desolation Center shows or they heard about them from people that were involved. And then you have things like Burning Man, Coachella that take place in the desert. We had Perry Farrell from Jane's Addiction started the Lollapalooza festival. So anything you do can lead in a direction maybe you didn't plan, and you can't control that. But I think that keeping something small scale, really doing it for the sake of the experience, not trying to make a business out of it, I don't see why that's not possible now. Just the technology has changed. I just really appreciate the chance to show my film to an audience in a new location, like here in Buenos Aires, and reaching different people. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of good energy and communication, and so if my film can be leading to other things, whether it be film, whether it be music, whether it be live events, that's kind of the spirit out of which I'm showing this film tonight.